Hello and welcome to the FM21 A-League Rundown on Football Manager 2021. Each week here on YouTube, we look back in our regular Sunday slot to see how the 12 A-League clubs are faring in the Mariners' massive universe. As always, we begin with Adelaide United. The Reds saw a 2-goal lead evaporate at the Whitton Oval against Western United, as Ben Halloran scored a brace in the second half, but it was not enough. Halloran went on to earn Player of the Match honours. He's got 4 goals and 7 assists for the campaign in 21 appearances. Brisbane Raw earned a hard-fought 1-0 win against Western Sydney Wanderers thanks to a goal from Dylan Wenzel-Halls. He was back on the score sheet in real life and again here in the Mariners' massive universe. Fullback Joshua Brindle-South appears to be heading out on loan, with 6 clubs interested, including Gold Coast United, Moreton Bay United, Peninsula Power and Brisbane City. A 3-2 victory for Central Coast Mariners, ourselves, over Wellington Phoenix was made a lot more difficult than it needed to be, as a 3-0 lead inside the opening half hour saw the Knicks come back within a goal. Marcos Urena with the Player of the Match award. He got 2 goals for our club. No word yet on the takeover attempts, but Jack Clisby has suffered a minor injury setback in training. Just a tight thigh, which will keep him out for a couple of days, but chances are he won't be ready for our next fixture. He needs a couple of games in the development teams just to get his fitness back up to what we expect. Matt Derbyshire was the best player on the park as Macarthur FC ran out 4-2 winners against Sydney FC. The veteran striker bagged a hat-trick, with Bennett adding a penalty. After going 12 games without a win, the Bulls have now won 2 games in 3 matches. So that is quite impressive. Derbyshire, a former Blackburn Rovers striker of course, leads the club's goal-scoring charts with 10 goals in 14 appearances. That is nothing to turn your nose up at, especially for a new team this season. Some talk around Jake Mcginn possibly playing for Ireland. In 17 appearances, starts with 2 substitute appearances. He's got 1 goal, 1 assist, an average rating of 6.66, a little bit spooky. Not really the type of form that is going to see him earn international honours and a first-time cap for the centre-back. Patrick Kisnorbo's sacking, that remains the big talking point for Melbourne City. With a certain Charlie Tango very much in the mix. It looks like Nathaniel Atkinson will be heading out on loan, which is a bit of a surprise, but as will young Luke Orsetti. City have now gone 6 games without a win. They crashed to a defeat against Newcastle Jets. That was at home as well at Amy Park, so disappointing. Andrew Naboot on the scoreline for the Melbourne City side. Melbourne Victory could not get the better of Perth Glory again at Amy Park. Grant Brebner's side on the wrong end of a 4-2 scoreline. Aaron Anderson and Rudy Justed got Victory's goals in that one. Not good enough really for a team that are 6th on the ladder. Not sure whether they'll be looking over their shoulders anymore, rather than above them at this stage. Scott Miller has now been in charge of Newcastle Jets for 20 games. His record reads 6 wins, 4 draws and 10 losses. The Jets down in 10th in the A-League table. The Jets saw off Patrick Kisnorbo's former side. So at the time he was manager, it was this loss that saw him lose his job and receive the dreaded pink slip. Joe Ledley and Costa Petratos scored the 2 goals for Newcastle Jets in a game in which Darren Mattocks also picked up a booking for the Citizens. Managerless Perth Glory, well, they picked up a win over Melbourne Victory, as a result claiming 4 points from their last 2 games. That's under interim boss Frank Farina. The Perth goal scorers were Chris Economides, Bruno Fornaroli, Jonas and, player of the match, Osama Malik. 4 key headers to his name. I'd suggest that their win has a lot to do with his performance. Still down in 12th, though, so not all things go in the way of the Glory. 2 goals from Milos Ninkovic couldn't inspire Sydney FC to result against Macarthur in the A-League, but the Sky Blues did emerge victorious in the Asian Champions League with success over Chiang Rai United. That win came in spite of playing the entire second half with 10 men after Anthony Caceres received an early shower. Wellington Phoenix will be without new signing Roland Lamar, former MLS player, for around 3 weeks with a pulled calf muscle. Lewis Fenton, he was part of the Mariners side to defeat the Knicks in Gosford. It was Alex Rufer and Ulysses Davila that brought a 3-0 scoreline back to 3-2. So it was probably a little bit flattering for the Knicks, who really weren't in the game for the first hour. If you didn't see that here on YouTube, go back and check it out. In fact, check out all my videos. Plenty of news concerning Western Sydney Wanderers this week. Firstly, Bernie Ibini suffered a hernia in training and will be absent for around 4 weeks. Michael Maria made his debut for the Red and Black in the game against Brisbane Raw, that 1-0 loss. While Hull City, Charlton Athletic and Sunderland are all in for Simon Cox, looking to bring him back to Blighty. With all that going on, it's no surprise really that the Wanderers suffered defeat to the Raw at Dolphins Stadium, thanks to that Dylan Wenzel-Hall's goal. They are 9th on the ladder. It's not looking good as far as the top 6 are concerned. Western United's comeback draw against Adelaide, thanks to late ones from Victor Sanchez and Dylan Parias, did little to paper over the cracks for Mark Rudan. Still under pressure, Western haven't earned 3 points in a game for 7 A-League fixtures. Next up is a rematch with the Reds, due to slight foibles of the fixture schedule. A game that Rudan's team must win, unless he could be facing the sack. In terms of the A-League table itself, as you can see, the Mariners are 10 points clear at the top against Wellington Phoenix, what Alan Stajic would give in real life to be 10 points clear. This weekend, obviously, plenty of chances for clubs to overtake them in the real life A-League. This is actually being recorded early on Saturday. In fact, the Mariners are on television as I record this. They've just survived a red card for Ruan Tongic, and they are, however, losing to Western United as it stands. So that will open the door for the likes of Adelaide and Melbourne City. Here in the Mariners Massive, Adelaide and Melbourne City contrasting fortunes. Adelaide are in the top 5, there with 29 points. City down in 11th with 20. If I am going to take over there, it needs to be now, really, because there's only so many games left in the season, and given that they're 8 points shy of the top 6, it's a big ask. Third on the ladder are Brisbane Raw. They have gone level on points with Sydney FC, slightly better goal difference. They have 1 game in hand. Western Sydney Wanderers have only played 19. That will change slightly this coming week as they play 2 fixtures. Speaking of which, they kick off against Melbourne City on Wednesday. So in the Mariners Massive, it's quite rare to get these midweek fixtures. That is one for them. We then follow with Friday football, traditional. Brisbane Raw host Wellington to Phoenix, so third plays second in Friday football. Newcastle Jets take on Melbourne Victory, so a rematch from the 2018 Grand Final. Mariners hosting the Wanderers, so who will be in action for the second time this week in the late game on Saturday. Sunday fixtures, Sydney FC host Macarthur FC, and Adelaide United take on Western United. That one should be a really good game, two very good footballing sides. Do join me on Thursday, as we'll have the Mariners taking on Western Sydney Wanderers in Gosford. I'll see you then.